I'm Sharon. Standing in the living room of my parents' house, I watched as the police led my mother away in handcuffs. Her face was twisted with anger and disbelief, but I felt nothing but a cold sense of justice. The room was silent, filled only with the sound of my family's shocked gasps and whispers. It was a moment I had been waiting for, a moment when the truth finally came out. 6 months ago, my life was turned upside down. I lived in a small apartment, a place that held 7 years of memories. One February morning at 3:17 a.m. The smoke alarm woke me up. The air was thick with darkness and the acrid smell of chemicals. My lungs burned, and I knew right away it was a fire. I grabbed my phone and ran out barefoot in my pajamas, leaving everything behind. When I finally made it to the sidewalk, a firefighter told me that everything in my apartment was gone. Photos of my grandparents, the guitar my late step-dad gave me when I was 16, my college diploma, and all my projects on the laptop. They were all reduced to smoke and ash. Desperate and broken, I called my parents. My step-dad, Frank, answered after 8 rings. "This isn't our problem. Be more careful," he said coldly, and hung up. I sat on the curb in shock, feeling utterly alone. 3 days later, when I was finally able to deal with the insurance, the customer service rep, Tom, asked me about my relationship with Frank and my mom, Lisa. It turned out they had been listed as the sole beneficiaries on my policy, a policy I never signed. A fire investigator named Jake later met me at a coffee shop. He told me he didn't think the fire was an accident. The fire patterns showed that someone had helped the fire along near the outlet behind my dresser. When he asked who had access to my apartment the week before the fire, I remembered that my mom had visited after 2 years of not seeing me. She showed up unannounced, said she missed me, and walked around my apartment asking questions. That night, I called my mom to thank her for the visit. When I mentioned the fire investigator, her tone changed. She warned me not to talk to them without a lawyer, which made me realize she was trying to protect herself. I started to dig deeper. My coworker Dave let me stay at his place. He was kind-hearted and didn't ask many questions. I also found a lawyer named Sarah who specialized in insurance fraud. She found that the signature on the beneficiary form was forged, and the clerk at the insurance office remembered a middle-aged woman with brown hair handling the paperwork for her busy daughter. My mom invited me to a family gathering, probably to make me look crazy in front of everyone. But I had other plans. I had allies Jake, Sarah, and Dave. Jake found full security footage of my mom entering my apartment with a large black bag and leaving without it 3 hours later. The bag was likely the key to the fire. At the family gathering, my mom was performing the role of a worried mother, trying to convince everyone that I was having a breakdown. But when I showed her the security footage and asked about the bag, she and Frank's phones rang. It was the police. Jake and 2 officers walked in and arrested my mom for arson in the 2nd degree and insurance fraud. Frank also got involved as he knew about the plan and helped cover it up. After the arrest, my family members came to me one by one, offering apologies. They finally believed me. I decided I needed time to figure out who my real family was. 2 days later, Sarah told me the case was solid. My mom was looking at 8 to 12 years in prison, and Frank would get 2 years of probation and mandatory gambling addiction treatment. The insurance money, minus legal fees, would be in my account soon. I also got a restraining order against them. The court date came in April. My mom was sentenced to 6 years in prison with the possibility of parole after 4 years. Frank got his deal as well. After the trial, I started therapy with Dr. Lily. She helped me understand that forgiveness wasn't my immediate goal. Healing was. I moved into a new, smaller apartment. Dave helped me move, and my Aunt Lucy sent me flowers. I bought a new guitar, and although it couldn't replace the one my step-dad gave me, it gave me a sense of comfort. A letter came from my mom a few months after the sentencing. She said she was desperate because of Frank's gambling debts and wanted me to visit. I wrote a response, but I'm not sure if I'll ever send it. I blocked her incoming mail. Now, as I look out at the city lights from my new apartment, I know that fire destroyed my old life, but it also revealed the truth. I've found strength, and my chosen family has been there for me. I've learned that trust should be earned, and setting boundaries is a way to protect myself. I may have lost a lot, but I still have myself, and that's all that truly matters.